Throughout history, many cultures and religions have spoken of apocalyptic events. In Christianity, the Apocalypse of St. John describes a time of darkness, chaos, divine judgments, and the return of Christ. Some interpret the phrase, "the sun will be darkened," from the book of Matthew 24, verse 29, literally. Cultures like the Mayans, Hindus, and others also mention cycles of destruction and renewal of the world, where there is sometimes a cosmic night or a temporary loss of light. Nostradamus and other famous seers talk about a great darkness lasting several days, like the famous 3 days of darkness. These prophecies are symbolic for some, literal for others, and many times have been reinterpreted according to the historical context. On the internet and social media, ideas circulate like a great global blackout is approaching, whether due to solar storms, economic collapse, or cyber warfare. People comment everywhere. There will be 3 days of darkness when the sun will not shine. The governments know and are not saying anything. These ideas have no scientific backing, but they create collective anxiety. However, some are inspired by real phenomena such as 1. Solar storms that could affect satellites and power grids, like the Carrington event in 1859. They don't block the sun, but they can cause blackouts. 2. Eclipses, but these are common and brief. They have no apocalyptic implication. 3. Massive volcanic eruptions like the Tambora eruption in 1815 in what is now Indonesia, which caused the year without summer because less sunlight reached the Earth. 4. Nuclear winter, a hypothetical scenario from the 1980s about what would happen after a nuclear war with smoke covering the atmosphere. 5. Extreme climate changes are some of the scenarios projecting partial light reduction due to pollution or atmospheric phenomena. From a spiritual perspective, I think it's fine, because many people use it to reflect on the awakening of consciousness, the purification of humanity, or the return to a deeper connection with the earth and nature. From a scientific and rational perspective, there is no evidence that we are going to experience a total loss of sunlight or an imminent global blackout, but I believe that anything is possible, as there is a purpose behind it. From an emotional standpoint, it's normal that in times of uncertainty, wars, climate crisis, and pandemics, these ideas resurface as a reflection of collective fear. From my point of view, I think there is some truth to all of this. I still search within myself and in conversations with my soul. If we look around, there are countless circumstances indicating that a total change is imminent and completely necessary. When I say total, I don't refer to the entirety of humanity, but to those of us who awaken with the eyes of the soul and realize that this fictitious, materialistic, and segregationist world cannot be our life forever. The darkness isn't just the absence of physical light, but a collective inner crisis, a stage in which the human soul, individually or collectively, goes through some sort of night. We need to find moments to silence the mental noise, reconnect with nature, and observe the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Ask yourself, what part of me is dying? What no longer makes sense? It takes self-confidence to accept that not everything is understood by the mind. Serving and helping others is also a way to illuminate the darkness and connect with your being. The self is your deep essence, beyond the body, the mind, the ego, and personal history. The self is not sought outside, it is discovered by silencing what we are not. And what are we not? We are not unresolved traumas blocking the soul's energy. We are not extreme materialism, unmindful technology. We are not separate from nature, and above all, we are not our avatar, although it should be cared for because we inhabit it. In the end, spiritual darkness is not a punishment, it is a call from the soul to return home. You will know you are coming back, that you are returning to the self, when you have a deep desire to know the truth, when you experience heightened sensitivity, when you feel the need for silence, nature, art, when you begin to question the system and yourself, and feel drawn to spiritual, symbolic, or mystical topics, and feel discomfort with the superficial or artificial. When you can observe yourself without judgment. You know, there's a timeless piece of wisdom that says, "Know yourself and you will know the universe." This is an inscription from the Temple of Delphi. It's like a gentle reminder to observe your thoughts, emotions, and those automatic patterns we all have. Maybe try using a spiritual or consciousness journal. And hey, engaging in silent practices can be really beneficial, such as meditation, conscious breathing, or even taking slow walks in nature. It's important to be honest with yourself. Accept what you are even if it hurts. Telling yourself the truth even if it shatters your ego can be a powerful act. Practice emotional healing through conscious therapy. This might include working with family history, doing inner child work, and recognizing wounds without living from them. Love the present moment. Remember, darkness often dwells in the past and the future. The self, well, it only lives in the now. There are some very valuable videos, texts, and authors out there, so search online. Even if you're not a regular reader, many books with valuable information are now digitized. For those who are auditory learners, who find listening a bit easier than reading, there's plenty to explore. If you listen to Spanish content, you can nourish yourself with programs by researchers like Descubriendo, Arla Quinn, Meridiano 84, Nieves Martinez, and many more. They are excellent, all of them present videos of their research and discoveries. Always remember, darkness is not a mistake, it is part of the process. You don't need to reach the light. You are the light. You just need to remove what hides it. Awakening is not something achieved with effort, but something that happens when you become completely honest, present, and silent. What you are seeking is, who is seeking? St. Francis of Assisi. Remain silent daily for 5 to 15 minutes to listen to the self beyond mental noise. Sit in silence, without music, without stimuli. Close your eyes, breathe slowly. Don't try to meditate right, just remain. If thoughts arise, don't fight them. Observe them passing. Use this phrase to accompany you. I am here, nothing else is necessary. Connect with nature at least once a week with the goal of remembering your unity with life. Walk barefoot, touch trees, feel the wind. Do not use your cell phone while you are in nature. Listen to the sounds, look at the details. Do it with presence. Hug a tree or sit next to a rock or on it. Feel that you too are part of the same silence. Look without judgment at what you are and what you are not. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what did I do today from the ego? And what did I do from the self? Keep a journal where you note your emotional reactions and the times you acted from fear, pride, or love. Always remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am the one who observes them. Final reminder, you are not broken. You don't need to become anyone. You just need to remember what you already are, when everything else is silenced. I highly recommend the Memory Rescue Workshop offered in Spanish by Arla Quinn. We are one. I won't go into details of how it worked for me, but I will let you know that it gave me everything I expected, and I am still receiving it after a month since I took it. May the light be with you at every step of your life. Thank you for being here. I will continue sharing my experiences and the messages I receive from my soul and my recently awakened memory. Please subscribe and give me a like. It helps me help, and don't feel alone. I'm here, ask, and I will answer to the best of my knowledge. If I don't know, I'll research and we'll grow together.